Video opens with 5 people in individual Zoom screens smiling and waving. Hi, we're ADAPT, the Academic Database Accessibility Proactive Testing Team. Transition to a single speaker with short dark hair and a red and blue checked shirt, speaking from a brightly lit office. I'm AJ Bleckner, and I'm a research librarian at Harvard Law School. Citation appears in the upper left-hand corner of the screen to Willis and O'Reilly, Filling the Gap in Database Usability, published in 2020. A recent study of academic databases found that 35% of those tested failed 2 or more accessibility criteria completely. Another 35% provided no accessibility information at all. Of the 227 databases analyzed in the study, only 10 fully matched the vendor's self-reported claims about accessibility. Librarians rely on vendor-provided accessibility information to decide whether to purchase licenses to these databases for our students, faculty, and staff. Faulty information means we're paying for resources that students with disabilities may not be able to use. Even worse, the first person to discover that a database is inaccessible is often the student trying to use it. Research is tough enough without encountering frustrating, discouraging, and inequitable access barriers. We need students to feel welcome at the library, and making sure our resources are accessible to everyone is an important first step. We want to create a new way to generate and share information about database accessibility. The rest of the team will take you through our plan. Transition to a new single speaker with dark hair in a red sweater, speaking from a bright living room with a large mirrored chest.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lynn Cremona, a web developer at the Library Innovation Lab. We'll build a wiki that provides instructions on how to test academic databases for accessibility features, and then how to publish those test results on our site. The published results will be available to all librarians making purchasing decisions. Using ADAPT, librarians across the university will be able to license products with accessibility in mind, and may even be able to encourage vendors to fix problems with their products that they didn't even know existed.
Transition to a new single speaker with short curly blonde hair, speaking from a couch in front of framed artwork.
I'm Emily Coolidge-Tokare, and I'm the Digital Pedagogy Librarian.
Transition to a standard wiki page with black text on a white background and multiple content boxes. A black header reads, "Our Vision."
We envision a wiki-based community providing access to standardized accessibility information across databases. Each database will have its own page with pre-populated testing instructions. Let's take JSTOR as an example.
A different wiki page with a heading JSTOR loads. It includes multiple subheadings with various WCAG accessibility criteria as subheadings nested under topical headings. Topical headings, support and holistic view, cognition, and mobility are highlighted in yellow.
Users will be provided with the rationale for specific accessibility features, as you can see in the quick links box on the right side of the screen.
Scrolling.
Features are categorized by those that support accessibility holistically, those that are designed for users whose barriers are based on cognition, mobility, vision, and hearing, respectively.
Transition further down the page to ARIA landmark subheading. An expand link is selected to reveal additional content.
Instructions for testing each feature will be available for users who would like to contribute to the knowledge base. Each accessibility feature includes a description of how it improves usability and instructions to test for that individual feature.
Transition to rich text editing window. Additional content is pasted into the editor, and the Save Changes button is selected.
After testing, users will be able to use source code editor or the rich text editor to add the results.
Screen returns to previous web page location, where ARIA landmark subheading is located. New content added through the rich text editor is now displayed on the page and highlighted in yellow.
Once saved, results are available to all users immediately.
Transition back to Emily Coolidge-Tokare speaking.
Our platform will provide the tools necessary for anyone to practice accessibility testing, as well as actionable information to anyone interested in consulting trustworthy, third-party provided accessibility reviews.
Transition to new single speaker with long brown hair and a brown sweater, speaking in front of a gray virtual background.
I'm Jess Rios, and I'm the Assistant Director of Digital Content and UX at the Law Library. We plan to build in user experience testing at every stage of the process to make sure our solution is both useful and usable. We've identified two main groups of users: end users who will use the wiki to make licensing or purchasing decisions, and contributing users or editors who will review database accessibility and add content to the wiki. Check out our proposal for in-depth information on how we plan to survey both these groups.
Transition to a new single speaker with long brown hair in a white shirt, speaking from a brightly lit living room.
I'm Claire Stanton. I do communications and outreach for PERMA CC at the Library Innovation Lab. Once we've created a great prototype based on user testing, it will be time to welcome contributing users or editors to the platform. We'll hold 5 hackathons to introduce users to the wiki, train them, and then collectively edit a few pages altogether. Hackathons are meant to be catalysts. They're fun events to get people excited about working collaboratively on a project and give them the tools that they need to sustain that work. During the initial phase of this project, we're going to be focusing on major databases that students use most. But as the project grows and continues, the training that editors get in this setting will allow them to grow it on their own, and it will empower them to recruit colleagues to contribute as well. Over time, it has the potential to become a public resource that fills the need of universities across the world.
Transition back to AJ Bleckner. Basic accessibility testing can be simple, but very few people in a position to make purchasing decisions have been provided the training or information to do it. By continuing to license inaccessible products, we tell students, faculty, and staff with disabilities that they're less welcome and signal to vendors that accessibility is not that important to us. ADAPT will give staff the tools we need to be the best allies and advocates we can for our students.